with Skylanders, as with any video game, we try to look for an experience that offers a universal fantasy that we can make in a unique way that we could never have done before. And so we imagined as children, when we loved playing with toys, we would bring them to life only in our own imaginations. And we realized, oh my goodness, we can actually bring them to life like they haven't been before by really enhancing that with a video game also. And so when we experimented with putting intelligence into the toys so the toys themselves communicate with the video game, we offered a much greater starting point for children's imaginations. Not only the story that the toy says through its physical appearance, but now how it plays out through the adventures, the moves, the powers. We find that children play with the games and then create many more stories afterwards as well. So this is something unique that we can do with video games, a universal fantasy of bringing toys to life, but on a totally different level. I think that one of the biggest opportunities with Skylanders as a creative person is the need to make an absolutely excellent design, from the character, from the way the Skylander looks, to how the quality of the figurines, to then how the Skylander plays in the adventure he plays in. There's such a high standard that we have to make it because we're introducing something brand new. And as a creative person, that's a very good thing. It means that we can do our best creative work with that kind of requirement. I think in a lot of ways, if we were using known brands, the game doesn't have to be as good. As a creative person, the most important thing for us is to really delight our customers with the best game experiences. And so we start with that. And so when a child experiences, finds a Skylander that he or she loves, and we have such a variety that any child can look at the selection and find the Skylander he or she loves, and then brings that toy to life, we really offer such a unique experience with that's how the child also gets engaged. And what we find is, with a group of children, every child will have a different set of Skylanders that they have this new relationship with. And that's really how we do it. So we actually involve hundreds of children through the development process for Skylanders, especially from the very beginning. And that's because as game makers, we don't want to make the game for ourselves. We have to make it for our consumers. So we have the creative insight, but the children are involved in not only the character designs, but playing the game and making sure the game is made for them. So everything that we do has a child at the center. And so the outcomes when the game is popular with a child, that's not a surprise because we've tuned it and made it and crafted it so it would really be that magical experience. The child is really at the center of the experience. In fact, the game is not about brands, it's not about characters in a certain sense. It's really about empowering the child. The child is the portal master. The child is actually the hero. And by offering all new creations, we keep the child at the center of the experience. It's interesting, children are very honest with their opinions. And so a child may not say this character is better balanced than another, but they'll tell you what's cool and they'll tell you what's not interesting very quickly. And we can see by how long it takes a child to pick up the game. Does the child want to stop playing the game? Does the child get bored by the game? Or just the immediate reactions? Is this experience magical? Is it something that creates a sense of delight? There's no point in explaining to a child. They just have to understand through experience. And so this is what we get back as we work with the children. I think the best message I can offer parents is that Skylanders is a really a game based on creating a creative platform for the child. It's about the magic, instilling a sense of magic around bringing toys to life, and as a starting point for the child's imagination. And it's a game that is very safe for children. It's a game that I started playing with my daughter when she was 4 years old, and I continue to enjoy playing with my daughter today. As a gamer myself, it's one of the few video game experiences I can enjoy with the whole family. Skylanders, at its center, has software and figurines, but everything that we do is centered around value. Every new Skylander brings a new game experience. Every new Skylander offers a new sense of exploration. The game is fantastic out of the box with just the starting characters, but it gets better and better. And so when you add to your collection, we really try to dramatically add to the value that you get as well. So Skylanders Swap Force is available already on all the available game platforms, including PS4 and Xbox One. So there's a couple of the new ones. We're always looking at how we can provide this experience to gamers everywhere. And so we'll always evaluate new platforms to go on. With Swap Force, now the toys themselves are cross-platform. So if the child has built a collection previously on Wii, now they can bring forward to Wii U, or a PlayStation 3, or a PlayStation 4. And so the collection always stays relevant and valuable in terms of what we do. Now, Skylanders is based on 3 principles. It's about bringing the magic of toys to life and keeping it fresh. That means that every time we do it, we have to do it in a new, fresh, exciting way. You know, magic is no longer magic if you see the same trick over and over again. So it stops becoming magic and it becomes predictable. So our responsibility is with every game, introduce a very fresh idea. So you can expect that. The second element is around designing the game around the child. So this is really about the child at the center of the experience. It's an experience the child can have by him or herself. It emphasizes playing with each other cooperatively. It emphasizes for the younger children, basic kind of toy play patterns. But for the older children, a sense of strategy and planning and thoughtfulness. And so it's layered and designed around the child and fundamentally empowering the child. And the third principle is around value. As you add to your collection, we want to respect that and add more and more features that support that as well. And so as you build your collection, you get much, much more value, not just a little bit. So the reason why we do the cross-platform toys, for example, is that a child doesn't choose whether they're playing on Wii or a PlayStation 3. The most important for us, thing for us is to bring them together and have them play together. So no matter what system exists in the home, they can bring their toys and play with their friends and that kind of thing. We offer such a variety of characters because each child has a different sense. They're all heroes and they're all powerful, but they all have different personalities. So each child can choose something that's suitable to his or her own personality. We have a mix of boy and girl characters. We find that 30% of our audience are girls. You know, as a parent, actually, I have 3 daughters. And my younger ones are less than 2 years old, but they play with a tablet. They play on the iOS now. And my older one, actually, she's now 8 years old, but I started playing Skylanders with her when she was just 4. And it's a fantastic experience for me to have with her, for example. So it's really a great experience for a parent to game with a child, and it's a great experience for boys and girls to have together.